Today's show is about revolution, and it's about a revolutionary mindset. But for starters, I got just a couple questions, anecdotes. How many, for one, how many unpopular things have you started to do? When I say unpopular, I don't mean unpopular in the world, but they could have been unpopular with the world, but they were particularly unpopular with your group of contacts, your immediate group of friends, contacts, whatever. Like they were like, that'll never work. Or they were, they might have been on some why are you doing that when you need to do this? Why are you doing that when you need to do this? Which leads me to the question, what would you do for money or for power in society that goes against your true morals? Like, what would you do to gain more stuff that you totally wouldn't do if you felt you were fulfilled and had all the stuff you needed? And are you doing some stuff right now that may be going against that personal constitution? Are you doing some stuff right now in your daily, in your weekly, in your monthly where you're like, yeah, but I got to do it. But fundamentally, some of it goes against like what you would really be doing. So, man, this plant is eating me up. Hold up. Y'all like my foliage? The foliage want to be all up in it. But yeah, and I'm getting my good oxygen too. But how many things are you doing where if you had it, I don't know, if you had as much stuff as you felt you needed to retire or maybe live comfortably or maybe take care of like 2 generations down, how much stuff that you're doing now goes against your moral code? Not just it's a little uncomfortable because you got to spend these hours doing the thing, but how much of it, how many things in your life are you doing that you're overlooking morally because you feel you want some stuff? What if you get all the stuff? What you gonna do? What you gonna do with the stuff? I remember when I was driven by stuff. I'm a little less driven by stuff now, but that doesn't make me better. It just makes me different. I just got to a different stage in life. Like stuff is cool, but then you be spending time worrying about if you're gonna lose your stuff. And it's just like, damn, I might lose my stuff if I don't do these things. But I don't really like to do these things. But if I don't do these things, I'm gonna lose my stuff. And I saw a dude who I know, and well, I'm not even saying nothing about him, but I saw a dude who I know at the grocery store, walking into the grocery store the other day. And we kind of exist in the same neighborhood. Not exactly neighbors, but same zip code. So I saw him and I was like, what's happening? He said, winning. Like that was his answer, winning. And shout out to his confidence or his projection. But I don't give a fuck if you winning or if you losing. How are you? Winning, it was and it's cool. I can't knock you down if you win it. I don't want to be that person at all. But at some point, when are we going to stop being stuff driven? Because I know that was a stuff driven comment. And I don't know how much stuff he has, but he might have just gotten some stuff. But when you have stuff, how far are you from being diseased by your stuff? And shout out to Nas. He came out with the album King's Disease. And he spoke on the premise of the series of King's Disease albums was what happens when you have so many of the trappings of having stuff and so many of the things of society that you're willing to have to the point where that stuff starts to kill you. He mentioned gout, high blood pressure. Like, how many places are you going to pick to go overeat? You know, how many places are you going to pick to go over drink? How much sleep are you about to lose? Like, how does that work with you? So I don't know. Right now, are you standing on your moral code right now? Or are you being depleted by the drive that you have found yourself needing to have in order to have stuff? And some of it might be the basics. Like I say, this is non judgmental, but some of it might be the basics. Or are you depleted? When I say depleted, I mean depleting yourself morally. Like, are you doing some stuff that you would absolutely not be doing, that you don't enjoy, that um, if you had another lifetime, you would do it differently? You wouldn't be doing this type stuff. You wish that you had another way, but you're in too deep. Pause. But how many things do you find yourself doing that do not line up with your soul and with yourself? And this, I don't care what part of the spectrum you on, you up or you down. That's just a question that I think everybody must ask themselves. And I do see people who I know who have slipped into a place of doing some things that it's probably going to make them money. It might not, you never know, but they're doing some stuff that morally they had to make a negotiation with themselves to do it, because if they had it how they wanted it, they would not be doing this. And so if this is the way, and if this is what gets approved because it's now popular, or it's accepted now, um, they're gonna go ahead and do it because it'll get them some stuff. So stuff to me becomes excessive when you think about your means of getting it, and when you think about the fact that you just have one this one life. Some people might have more than one life, but I've been guaranteed the moment. I have not been guaranteed the next moment. So I can't like just dog myself out morally and make it hard to live with myself when I don't even know if this sacrifice that I'm making for my own morality is going to meet me in tomorrow. Like, what if I'm unable to meet it? Not to be morbid, but to be real. You know, you have this life. There are people who I've known for, I'm going to say decades, and they have been doing things in this time for a brighter tomorrow. We call it, you're grinding. But a lot of the stuff is not things that aligns with their joy or with their born purpose, you know? Born Purpose. I swear, if I was in the 5% Nation, my name would be Born Purpose. I might just switch up on y'all, go from Grindstone to Born Purpose. But anyway, here we are on episode 56 of Sorry for My Language. Water time. Yeah. Yeah, man. Episode 56. It's a Lawrence Taylor episode. This is brought to you by Grindstone Universal. You could go to grindstoneuniversal.com because there is the epitome of urban luxury. I keep trying to told you that. It's the epitome of urban luxury. It's a place where progress is made and truth is revealed. And you're sitting here with me, Grindstone. That's my chief name. Started out as a little papoose, and now I'm a chief. Shout out. All right, guys. And if you found it necessary to change your name or to change anything about you, your self-determination, your path, your direction, under the principle of Kuji Jakalia and Kwanzaa, that is your God-given authority to do it. So I'm Grindstone. That goes for you. You dig? Go to grindstoneuniversal.com, get fresh like me. So that's my glitch. I'd be like, but I've learned something. I've understood that groups of small, consistent actions either build things bigger than themselves or they take down things bigger than themselves. And this is where my talk of revolution comes and happens. Revolution meaning change, right? Revolution meaning a full cycle. A full cycle of something happens and something else cycles in, right? No lie, full transparency. Look me in the face, in the facial recognition. I have a big rat in my backyard right now. Yeah, I do. And it's been a few weeks now that I've seen how this rat gets down. And I have several feral cats that come visit my backyard. They've been in the neighbor's backyard, in the alley. Feral cats, they're the ones who they don't go inside. They don't even let people touch them. There's a bunch of those cats, the tough cats, right? The cats would be at the jukebox flipping the quarter, like, like in the cartoon, like smoking a cigarette. I have those type of cats out in the back. This rat walks. It's too big to run. This rat walks up, got his sleeves rolled up, got a pack of Newports in his sleeve, a couple tattoos. This rat walks up and eats the cat food. I swear. No funny. I've seen this rat, and it has like specific marking. It's like a Brendel rat. It's mean. It's been through it all. I've witnessed this rat eat rat poison and then go drink water. It don't care. He don't give a F about S. And so I thought I was Mr. Smarty Pants. The way I figured out it was a rat back there. I looked out there one day and I saw the because I'll put cat food out for the cats to keep rats away. Like living in the inner city, it'd be rats in the alleys and stuff, right? And I don't want those rats in my backyard. Well, this didn't work out. So I put cat food out there for the cats. But then one day I realized I saw the cat food can in the bushes near the fence. And I was like, damn, that was some aggressive food eating. So one day I put the can out there and I see the rat. Well, the cat is eating. I see the rat come walk to the can. And when he walks to the can, the cat backs off and the rat get busy eating. And I was just like, oh, damn, my skin is crawling. My skin is crawling. This is hella nasty. Like, what the fuck? This ain't supposed to happen. Like, the cat's supposed to bite it on the neck and kill it. And it might be a little scruff or a scrum, but the cat's supposed to just be dogging it. It's supposed to dispose of it in at least a 3-round bout, if not the first round knockout. That's what we hoping. We pulling for the cat, right? Nah, that ain't happening. So the cat, I realized, had made a business decision. So this is the Derrick Henry of rats, for those of y'all who follow football. This is the Shaquille O'Neal, the 2004 Shaquille O'Neal. This is the one that means business. This is the one that's gonna dunk on your head. This not even 2004. Yeah, 2004 is fair. Shaq was still balling in 2004. But this is a situation that threw me off guard. So what I did, I came out there, the big bad human, came out there, stepping hard, made the rat run away, walk away. He did a little trot. It wasn't like a scurry. It was a trot. Trotted away to the bushes like, I'll wait. Look at me like I was small. I'll wait. So I go fill up the can with rat poison, these pellets. that I had to go to the hardware store and get. Now, I ain't never had rat problems, okay? So let's get this together. But this is what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. The rat comes out of the bushes. When I go back in, I'm looking out the window and clears the whole damn can of the rat food. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. I'm going to see a rat die of poison. I mean, a rat, like whatever poison does, I'm about to witness that. I come back out. He trots back to the dugout. I pour some more rat poison in the cat food can. Rat comes back out, clears it, eats it all. So I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna do with the dead body when he flips over and starts convulsing? You know, I'm bracing myself for the disposal. Ain't no disposal. Buddy came out there like, you got some more? So then I had to Google. I'm Googling like, man, how long does it take for a rat to die after get busy on the rat poison? How long does this take? 3 to 5 days, depending on the weight of the rat, 4 to 8 days. I'm like, okay, I'll be patient. This time next week, then I'll go to figuring out like what it is I need to do to save myself. So I'm really disappointed in the cat now. Now I'm like, you know what? All those trips to the store, I don't think I need to be buying cat food anymore. Even though, like, cat food costs nothing for a couple weeks of food. I don't need meow. I don't need to be buying cat food for no damn cat that's gonna watch rats walk around and just be who the fuck they are. And it's not even them. It's just this one big ass, fat ass, refrigerator Perry precious rat. This motherfucker need to walk his big ass to Hollywood and get a check. This nigga needs a collar on him. It's hella big and it's ridiculous. And like I said, he's brindle. He got markings. This nigga's wild. It's disgusting. He must weigh about 3 pounds or some shit. This motherfucker's big. So anyway, I wish all rats, I guess they serve some purpose in the food chain, but I just be like, damn, God, why you do that? Why you bring them to us? You know, why'd you bring them over with the dirty ass Europeans on the boats that came to America and dropped those rats off in this continent? Like, why couldn't they just stay over in dirty ass Europe where they originated? What? But you don't question God, right? So anyway, I had a revelation. I decided I'm gonna go to Walmart. And the only reason you go to Walmart is for violence. Like, either you're going to go commit an act of violence on yourself with nutrition, or you're going to go commit an act of violence on somebody else because they sell weapons, right? So I go to Walmart and get a pellet gun rifle with a scope, right? I looked it up. I was like, you know what? I know if I discharge a firearm, then that's illegal, and like whatever the echolocator is, it's gonna say a gunshot was fired here, and that ain't cool. Can't use a pistol, right? But a pellet gun isn't a firearm. It operates off CO2, and then that pumps that pellet up out of there. So it's the joint with the scope, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna line it up. Now, mind you, this rat is, like I said, I don't know. I never put him on a scale. I never touched a fucking rat in my life, but I'm going to give it, let's be honest, 2 pounds. Pound and a half, some shit like that, right? So I weigh 50 plus times more than this motherfucker. And he is kind of controlling my narrative through some days. I'm like, man, does that motherfucker out there want me to get this one? Man, I got to go to the store, buy some shit. I got to get my munitions up. I got to lay low at dusk because sometimes you want to pop out at dusk. and search around to see if that cat food can is there. This nigga even carried, I even see him deadlift, get his back straight, get his shoulders back, and take the damn cat food can to the bushes. I've seen this. It's out of hand. So now I'm ready. I'm laying low. I'm like, yeah, like I got real enemies with a rifle with a scope. So I'm like, damn. Now I'm sitting out here and one of the most important resources that I have, which is time, is being taken up by me aiming at a fucking rat. This is crazy. By me looking for it, by me plotting, by me sitting back, looking. Now, the truth of the matter is, I could give it the proper time, sit the food out there, and shoot the rat. Right? I could do that. But then when I think about how much time and how many resources it took for me to get that one thing out the way, just that one fucking thing out the way, then I'm thinking, okay, well, mission accomplished. Now I could go back to living regular. But who won that shit? Did I win or did that motherfucker win? Because if I spend all this time on one, what if it's infinite joints in the world, but it's probably multiple joints in the alley. And then what if somebody else come back to be like, hey, he ain't brought no cat food back to us lately. Where he at? What if another one come through, right? Now I got a battle on my hands. So the police already punked out. Those are the cats. The rats are the unwanted citizens, right? And then I'm like the government. You see where I'm getting here? Follow me. If it takes all that energy and planning from the government, me, to extinguish one type of citizen, the rat, and then the police, they may or may not work, the cats. Imagine if the rats joined together and really decided to just give me problems. Imagine that, right? Imagine if, shit, I don't want you to imagine that. Yo, because then you start imagining that shit for me and then that shit comes true. That's called hoodoo. I don't want no hoodoo. I don't need no problems like that. But think about how small entities can come together and drive away or break down larger domineering entities. Yes, there will be casualties. That's for damn sure. There will be skirmishes. There will be this and there will be that. But then eventually, the homeowner who has rats, this motherfucker gonna put a for sale sign in the dirt. They gonna exhaust and expend all that they can to make this a non-fucking problem. But what if the problem don't stop? If they don't put a for sale sign in the dirt, they gonna at least bounce for a minute and be like, you know what? I can't stay there for these reasons. And well, with that particular type of citizen, there's not no real negotiation you can make. But if you bring this back to humanity, there's a negotiation that could be made. All right, look, don't overrun my shit. This is what we could work out. And that would be the government coming to the people. But the one thing that would be necessary, it would be the unification of the people. And it's difficult to unify because a lot of people are doing things that go against their moral code, and it whittles away at their moral structure because they want to have stuff. See, I brought that back. People want stuff so bad that they won't do the thing to stop the pressure that they're getting. They won't do the thing to stop the poison coming their way. They won't do the thing to stop the government from shooting at them with the rifle and a scope and a pellet gun near the fence. They won't do the things as people to get the food. They're like, I'm going to get my food. I'm going to get this. I'm going to stand next to it. But they won't do the things necessary to overturn the machine that stops them from living how they want to live. Now, I hope the rats aren't listening to this podcast, but it's true. And I see it. I've learned so many things from watching this rat in my backyard and watching me and the cats and this relationship that happens. I've learned so many things in this little microcosm that I'm kind of grateful for the fact that I've been taught this lesson. Now, I didn't enter wanting this lesson. I'm not fucking with the diseases that they carry, the look that it gives, none of that shit. But when I see the rat eating the cat food, I'm just like, that motherfucker's a revolutionary. He can't really be told nothing. I can't tell this dude what to do, And I'm like, boy, if they really knew the power that they had over humanity, they probably use that shit. And then in just thinking that thought, I was thinking like, well, damn, if humans knew the power that they have in numbers, there would probably be very little oppression popping because it would be hard to oppress somebody who knows who the fuck they are and who knows the power that they wield. So in this particular time, whether it's in your city, whether it's in my city, whether it's in your country, whether it's in the country that we share, there's a lot of domineering power, but they really got your mind fucked up. They really have you thinking that you are too small to win the battle that you're trying to win. Regardless of what the battle just might be having the basic stuff. But they think that you're too small to come together and get the basic stuff. Meanwhile, you look at them, and because they have infected your mind with their opulence, you're not realizing that several of the people who dominate you haven't won the battle against themselves. So a lot of those people are actually suffering from King's disease. They're weaker than you think. Although you should not underestimate your competition or your opposition, I'm just saying they're weaker than you think. And unification is key. And in order to unify with others, you must first unify with yourself. So the work that must be done with yourself is something that is key to your mere survival. It's key to our mere survival. In some way, you're counting on me to keep it together. Because me keeping it together and being strong allows me to be an asset to you. It allows me to be a customer to you. It allows me to be an information giver to you. It allows you to be a client of mine. It allows me to be an employer. It allows me to be an employee. It allows me to be a relative. It allows me to be a pillar in the tax base. It allows a bunch of shit, right? So y'all better root for me. Codependence is real, Independence is a sham. And it's wild to think of it like that, but anybody who sells something, you realize how codependent you are on the customer or how you are on your supply chain. It's not just you. You can't just sell a house without a buyer. You can't just buy a stock or some shit and sit on that joint without other people interacting and making it valuable. It don't work that way. So codependence is real. You just don't realize how real it is until you get to lean times like now. And people are really hanging their hat on some shit that's driven by other people right now. And it don't matter what rung of the ladder you're on, corporately or financially, you depend on others. And so if your dependence is already on others, why don't you unify with the people who have common interests? Take yourself out of your moral dilemma And when you take yourself out of your moral dilemma and you stop doing shit that don't align with what the fuck you would really be doing if it wasn't for your thirst and desperation, then you can say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this unpopular move. We're back to the unpopular shit, right? I'm going to start doing this thing pragmatically. So then I understand that it will grow upon itself and will accumulate leverage. If I do this, then me and that person can do that. If me and that person do that, then me and these people can do that. If me and these people do that, then this will be the reality, right? But it starts with you, and you have to start doing the thing. So I know I done said things and stuff 100 million times, but I'm just saying how processes work. And if everything works out, you're going to be alive this time 2-3 years from now. And imagine if you're still sitting in the same set of habits that you have now 2-3 years from now. Just imagine that. I don't know what your habits are, okay? But are you doing something that's going to grow into something productive for you in 2 or 3 years? Or are you doing something that if you do this for 2 or 3 years, you're going to dry up and die on your couch just because you haven't done shit? I mean, which one is it going to be? I recommend that you hit the brakes real immediate on the things that you're doing that don't sit with you morally, and then you start doing the unpopular things that do sit with you morally. I'm just saying. Sometimes the trappings of the stuff isn't all that they're cracked up to be. Like the best credit score I ever had, that when I in checking my credit, the best time, like when I checked my shit, the best I've ever seen was an 813 credit score. You're damn right. So then I thought about it and I was like, well, shit, what do I do with this? Do I go borrow? That shit allows me to borrow some shit that I got to pay back with little interest, but I gotta borrow some shit, bust some moves, and pay some shit back. And I was like, I don't want to borrow nothing right now. Like I'm straight. I don't want to fucking borrow nothing. That wasn't now. Because now, can the brother get $1, please? No, I'm just no. But that wasn't now. But I'm saying I was just like, well, what the fuck do I do with this credit score? Buy a house, buy this, like whatever this fuck. I've done all that shit, right? I've done all that shit. So, not to say that I was the best financially advised, but at some point you're just like, man, what the fuck good is stuff gonna do? What the fuck do I want with some more stuff? Let me tell you, quick story. So I'm decent with people. I'm pretty good with people and relationships. I had it so good. Got to drink your water. And when you're drinking water, by the way, this is a side note. That's a side note sound. When you're drinking water, make sure you put something in your water. Today I just have this is water with oregano oil in it. It kills bacteria. It gives you life. So make sure you do that. Let me tell you, I'm pretty good with people. So I used to go to the bank a lot. This was, I guess, more so when cash was the thing. Now I don't even be touching. I don't really even, I don't remember when was the last time I wrapped up $5,000 cash. Like just off the, like I don't even remember last time I did that shit. Even I would say $1,000, but that wouldn't be true. But like I just don't touch cash. I just don't fucking touch cash. Right. So, and I don't like that shit. It means your shit's a little more monitored now. But anyway, back in the day, I used to go to the bank a little more. I used to go to the bank often. It was a normal procedure to go to the bank, do shit, go to the bank, do shit. It wasn't all about the card and the Zelle and the electrical ways. So anyway, I'm telling you how good I had it, how much stuff was available. I go to the bank, and one day it was this cute ass banker manager. She was new. And back in the day, this might have been in the year 2000 or 2001. It was 2001. Yeah, I think it was 2001. Back in the day, I had I caught a police brutality case. Like they brutalized me. So I sued them. And I sued them. I sued the police and I won. But it didn't make it to trial. They settled out. And I took less than of course, a lot less than I was suing for. But it's because the motherfuckers who were there with me when the police did it, they would have had to be witnesses. And they little bitch asses didn't want to show up and speak in my favor or even speak the truth that they witnessed in that moment. So they punk asses allowed it to be my word against the police's word. And my attorney, excellent attorney too, he was just like, I mean, the fix is going to be in if you don't have no witnesses and the police are going to win. So I'll go for the best settlement. So anyway, got the settlement. Fast forward, I don't know how many years later. This might have been, I'm going to go ahead and give it 8 years later. 5 to 8 years later. I can't fucking remember. I'm in the bank. And in the bank, the police officer who pulled that bullshit on me, he was the guard in the bank, right? He was the police presence in the bank. Let me not lie. He was either the guard in the bank or he came in there to do some banking or he came in there to check on shit. I can't remember what it was, but it was him. And I remember the police car pulled out front. When I looked, I saw him. I recognized him immediately. This was the motherfucker who choked me out that night and bust my head on the ground. So when he walked in, I was looking at him, and this was my little more outspoken, rebellious nature. Whatever the fuck it was, I told him everything about the way my heart felt about his ass that I was unable to tell him that night. And that night, not to like rehash it, relive it, but he came up from behind me and choked me out and fucked me up. Right. So I never even had like the face that me and him never even had a fucking disagreement. I ain't know this nigga. I didn't even know he was coming up. He didn't give no warning. And before he did this shit, he took his name tag and his badge off. Right. Because when I saw him walking away, he didn't have shit on. So I was just like, damn, that shit was ruthless. So anyway, it was a bank full of people, and I let this officer have it. I might even, whatever it was, I gave him the information that let him know that his mom and dad made a mistake by fucking on the day he was conceived. And I just really dragged him that day, and I took it to the point where it was like, nigga, if you jump it off with me, you're going to have to kill me. You know, straight the fuck up. If we get a fair one, you're going to have to kill me because my blood don't like your blood. And that's just where it was. So anyway, it was a big to-do in the bank between me and him. No physical altercation. But then he left, right? So then I'm still standing in line. It ain't my turn at the window yet. But the banker, the new cute manager, she came up to me and she was like, oh my God. Da, 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 da. That shit kind of excited her in a sexy way. This is the first day I'd ever seen her. I ain't know her. So I do my transaction, and then she pulls me to the side and she's like, hey, you know, I'm the new manager at the bank, and if you want to open a merchant account or whatever the fuck they say, but she was like kind of kicking it off. And then she was like, man, I was kind of scared. What happened there? Da, da, da. So, you know, she's cute. So I got a few words for her. So we talking. And in the convo, we exchanged phone numbers because she said her end was selling me bank products, like a different type of checking account or whatever it was. So she gave me her card, and on the card it was her cell phone number. Like it was office number, cell phone number. So, man, the cell phone number works. She was like, yeah. All right, cool. I'm gonna hit you. Yeah, call me. She said, call me around closing time. All right, bet. The bank closed at 5, I think. So I called her 10 minutes to 5 or some shit. And then she was like, yeah, you know, I'll be in here. I'll be closing the bank alone. After, because like I think the cleaning service had to come in, and whatever the fuck it was, when she said she was closing the bank alone, and she was going to tell the security to go home. Now, mind you, this is not the time of ultimate surveillance that we're in now. I don't think shit will go like this now. But she told me when to come in, and it's like, so say if the bank closed at 5, it might have been like come through at 5:40 or some shit like that. Whatever it was, I showed up, went to the back. She let me in. We're talking, and this is crazy because I swear, this is like the first day I met her. Right, we're talking. She shows me around the fucking bank, and it's like an area where you go behind the counter, and then it's like a area where motherfuckers eat lunch and warm up their food and shit. Right? She took me in that back area, and we fucked. I got some stank in the bank. That's a true fucking story. So I say that's the long story about me saying there's a time, and it's always available in this world, where you can get all of the stuff. You can have all of the trappings. You could have all of the fucking things. Imagine if you're fucking a bank manager and your credit score is good. Imagine like all the shit that's available to you, money-wise, all that shit, right? But at what point do you check yourself and be like, damn, I am doing all I can to gain and not lose, and then some days just to not lose. I'm looking at people, I'm interacting in different circles, I'm doing all this shit. At what point am I doing shit that morally conflicts with my personal constitution? So I'm saying everybody has to address that shit. If you have money or if you have nothing, you have to address that. And that is the point that you have to get to within yourself before you start to effectively unify with others. But at the point that you start to effectively unify with others who have common interests and y'all have common goals, you could change the world around you. And that is revolution. And that's my time. I'm Grindstone. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com where progress is made and truth is revealed. Thank you for sharing this time with me. I just wanted to give you a little something off my chest, you know? Everything I spit is real. I'm out.